So you heard it. Critical race theory is not being taught within our public schools. So let me go ahead and see if I can find a resource that will confirm or deny whether or not that's so. How about the Virginia Department of Education website? Basic tenets of anti-racist education. Racism exists today in both traditional and modern forms. That seems reasonable. All members of society have been socialized to participate in racist systems. White people benefit from racists regardless of intentions. Adopted from author Robin DiAngelo's book, White Fragility. This is a part of the overall curriculum that all of our teachers are now required to go through as a part of their licensure. And there are pages and pages and pages of this. Here's another example. When you look at the different partners that they're using, Teaching Tolerance from the Southern Poverty Law Center. For those of you who are wondering what the Southern Poverty Law Center is, it used to be an actually really good organization, but lately they actually got in trouble for putting Dr. Ben Carson listed as an extremist. How about New America Foundation, whose largest donors are George Soros? What about, how about another resource that was provided for all of our teachers with respect to the construction of their lessons plans by Ibram X. Kendi? If you're wondering who Ibram X. Kendi is, he's one of the most prominent critical race theory advocates right now. And in fact, he's gone so far as to suggest that there should be a federal department of anti-racism. And that federal department would not be elected and would have complete oversight in order to nullify all federal and state laws that they don't believe are sufficiently anti-racist. Now, I believe in being an anti-racist, but my definition of anti-racism is opposing racism. Ibram X. Kendi's definition of anti-racism is that you also must be an anti-capitalist. And that comes from him. That does not come from me. If you want to look at some of the other books, you can get resources. So they provide links on where teachers can go to get additional resources for lessons plans. We have this one from the Smithsonian. In the United States, systems of oppression like systematic racism are woven into the very foundation of American culture, society, and laws. We have another site where it goes, it says, without critical race theory, there would be no raising race-conscious children. So this idea that it's not being taught at our schools. Let me tell you what they mean by that. What they mean is that there will be nothing on your child's syllabus that says CRT 101 in history class. Instead, what will happen is they'll do what they're doing in Virginia. They're making this training a requirement for your teachers in order to get their license or renew their license. And so what you will end up having is CRT not being taught like a theory competing with other theories. What you'll have is CRT being a lens through which your teacher teaches your child any subject. And quite frankly, I can't think of a more abusive way to teach children than to tell them the moment they walk into the classroom that they are part of an oppressor or oppressed class based off of their skin color. I think it's damaging to all children, but I think it's especially damaging to minority children to tell them that essentially the country that they are in right now hates them and has set up all of their institutions in order to keep them down. And I find it fascinating that someone would say how much faith they have in the government at the same time that they believe that that government is inextricably related